You hear a lot of people talk about finding one's pain points in a business, but really what does that mean? What does that look like in my day-to-day life? And so I'm gonna give you an example. You have a car. The red light comes on, the check engine light comes on and says, hey, you need to check this. So the manufacturer put that kind of piece in there that said, hey, when this dings, check your oil, make sure that your tire pressure's there, call a mechanic. You probably then take it to that mechanic and the mechanic says, well, is your car doing this? Is it jumping? Is it stuttering? They're kind of analyzing what you're doing. And then they come to you and say, we can fix this. It's your timing belt, but it's gonna cost us $200 for the part and $100 for the labor, which basically is the validation part of this. So number one is determine what's happening. That's the check engine light. Number two is analyze that. So you take it and you say, let's figure out what this is. Maybe you Google it. Maybe you go to the mechanic. The mechanic says, hey, this is what the problem is. And then three, they bring it up to you and say, if you want this fixed, it's gonna cost X dollars to get it done. Now, how do you do that in your own life? Okay, so you got determine. That's understanding that something's the matter. Bank account is dry, you're not getting new customers. Sounds painful, right? What kind of things can you ask them? Well, you can ask your customers what they would like more of, or who you think your potential customer is if there's something that they're looking for. You can ask other business owners what their biggest challenge is. I found that by just communicating with people and just saying, hey, what are you going through? You can learn a lot from. And number three, take an inventory of what you personally are struggling with or with someone else. If you don't understand where you are, you'll never be able to fix the problem. So that's determining it. Now we want to analyze it. What did they say, or what are we looking at? I currently do X and I'm always struggling to get Y. I'm currently doing all this work where I'm spending 16 hours doing this one thing, but I'm only getting Y in return and it's just not enough money. What can I do? And I'm trying to understand how to grow my business, but I'm not good at marketing. Why are you bad at marketing? Is it because you're not good at marketing? Is it because you're not connecting with that person on that personal way? Or is it that you're being lazy? Oftentimes I find that people say, oh, I'm not getting to where I want in my business or in life. And then you kind of start taking an inventory of where they are and they say, oh, I don't have time to do this. They actually have a crap ton of time. So if you were thinking about doing the time perspective, take an inventory of the next 7 days of your life and just say, when you wake up, what are the tasks that you're doing? When are you working? What are you working on? And see how much time you have where you could be doing something else. And finally, number three, to validate. Is this problem big enough for these people to actually pay for it? Now, in the case of a mechanic, you're probably there and you want it fixed. And so you'll say, yeah, I'll get this fixed and I'll pay X, Y, Z for it. But here's the thing. I guarantee that the mechanic does hear no, because that person could say, well, you know, it's just too expensive, or I don't need it yet. But basically they're saying it's not a big enough problem yet. If someone is not willing to provide you capital in return for your service or product or whatever you're providing, then you haven't validated it. It's that simple. So determine that something is the matter. Your bank account is dry, red light or check engine light goes on in your car, or that you're just not getting the kind of information that you want from your customers. Number two is analyze why this is happening. Dig deep into what you're doing or what other people might be doing. Is it the timing belt? Is it that I'm not putting in a lot of time? Is it because I'm just watching too much Netflix? And then number three, validate it. Will someone pay me for my product or my service or whatever my company is? So those are the three things to address and understand what a pain point or a problem is in a business. Determine, analyze, and validate.